Greetings, Internet, and welcome to Turn 8 Gaming's Fallout 4 First Day, First Look video.
Yay.
So what we're going to do here in this little chat session here, obviously there's Andy and Opie, and I'm pointing at them on my screen, but I have no idea where you'll see them. Not even close.
Andy, Rich, me,
somewhere. Anyway, whatever. So the three of us have the game. Obviously, it has come out this week, earlier in the week. We had a chance to sit down with it, get some playtime with it, and this is kind of just our first impressions of the game. Opie and myself, I keep wanting to point, but there's definitely no chance that you're above.
I'm down
because I
here.
know I'm on the top of the screen.
You're up here, so I'm down here. Though I guess my thing is reversed, so I don't even know.
Yeah,
and that's the way we became the British.
We're like the worst pretty much ever as we're all pointing in the wrong direction. Anyway, this video is going out of control already. So, Opie and I have it for the PC. Andy has it for the PS4?
Yep.
So, we have a couple different perspectives on how the game is going to play, which is kind of cool. Andy also has the Pip-Boy edition if you haven't seen it on our channel already. He has an unboxing video, a couple of them, so there's the fancy box. That's pretty cool looking.
Yeah.
So if you want to check out the unboxing of that, go to our channel, do so. I also have a can't play because I suck at video games, so instead of let's play, that's what I'm doing. So you'll want to see more of me making an ass of myself. There's those videos. But for now, what we're going to do is talk about day one, essentially, for us, how we got into the game. So with that in mind, day one for me, as in podcasts and on other videos, I tend to make female characters, so I did. That's what I did. Even though, as Andy pointed out, it's a little bit unusual this time because there is actually like you start out married.
Yes.
In a heterosexual marriage, and I'm playing a female, which is a little odd. Normally, my choice of playing female characters is just because I'm going to stare at somebody's backside for 8 hours a day. That's who it's going to be. Yeah, so whatever, he dies. So, spoiler alert.
Oh man.
So we're not going to talk about the vault because that's
the same for everybody.
It's the same for everybody. You're going to get the same basic experience. It's all what happens after you get outside the vault. So if there is there's going to be some minor spoilers in here, but I don't think anything drastic. If you do not want to hear anything about it, well, why are you watching this video?
Yeah, exactly.
But anyway, so yeah, I made my character. I got out of the vault. First thing that I did, as you can see in the playthrough in episode 2, because I fought the urge really hard to just run around and tear off butterfly wings as it is, which is like my Skyrim go-to, which was just run around like crazy and be like, I can do anything I want. Rip, I'm going to use this for alchemy. So I went the wrong way. I ran around outside. I found the edge of the world because there is one right there, which kind of bothered me, honestly. I was like, it's
really
just
to the
a hard
edge.
stop. It's not like a mountain that you can't cross.
No.
There's like literally an invisible wall there. And if you jump into it,
this way.
And if you jump into it, you'll float. As you fall down really slowly. It's in the video because I do it because I was like
awesome. And
then because I knew I was making a video, I was like, all right, I have to go and do things that I'm supposed to do. So I went to Sanctuary then. So Sanctuary was like, I don't know, it's only about like a half-hour detour for me.
Okay.
Well, how about you guys? What was your first?
Yeah, so first thing I did is, like Rich, I kind of explored a little bit. I went a little west and then went mostly south. I found...
You started at the northwest of the map, I think, is what it...
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So I didn't get to the very edge, but I saw I was getting towards the edge, so I was like, all right, I'll just turn south and head down there. First thing I actually found was some raiders by, like, a big, like, power tower? Power tower? Yeah,
Power.
So how
power
my first
line thing?
Yeah, exactly. Power lines. How my first thing of combats. They did some damage on me, but took them out. Like, luckily they kind of like there were 4 of them, but like 2 of them came at me, and then the other 2 were just kind of standing around.
Oh, that's nice of them.
Yeah, exactly. So I didn't aggro them apparently. Got one of their shotguns and used that a few times and.
See, that's how you
kind
get
of
a
sucks.
shotgun. Well, before I had a shotgun.
Exactly.
I didn't get a shotgun until much later.
After that, I kind of went south a little more. I actually found as you'll anyone who's played the game will discover the Abernathy like farm, which is also to the west. It's like southwest of Sanctuary, which is my first like actual settlement I found. And apparently there you can talk to them, you can actually barter with them. So I actually sold a bunch of things and picked melons, and they pay you for that because it's like takes 5 seconds, but whatever. I don't know.
Yeah. So I've played the game for 7 hours now. I have not found that farm.
Oh yeah,
As you
exactly.
were talking about it, I was like, I didn't go anywhere near that area.
That's why we do these first day things. 'Cause
Yeah.
everyone goes in different directions.
Yeah,
Right? So,
I didn't even know that was there.
yeah. At that point, I was like, all right, I need to go. I want to craft because I've been looking forward to crafting for a while. I was like, all right, I'll go to Sanctuary, and that's where I went from there. But before then, Andy, what about you? What did you do for your first day?
Well, I went right to Sanctuary. I didn't really spend a whole lot of time there. I continued kind of going south. And you know where that garage is, where the power armor...
The Red Rocket.
Yes.
Yeah, the Red Rocket. That's kind of like... I mean, I did technically go to Sanctuary first, but I didn't really do anything there. I just kind of looked around a little and then continued going south down
Did you
past
talk
the bridge.
to the robot?
Yes, I did do that. And then after that, I was like, okay, I'm going to leave town and go south. So I did that, hung out the Red Robin, or not Red Robin.
Red Robin.
got-
Yum.
They have good burgers there, by the way.
I wish there was a Red Robin
Yeah.
that I could go to actually right now.
Red Robin advertisement sponsored right here.
Yeah. Give us money, Red Robin.
So I went there, checked that out, and actually started storing some of my crap there. That was kind of like where I put, a couple of weapons I found from killing raiders. There was like a dead raider at the end of the bridge, so I started grabbing stuff from him. And then apparently behind the Red Rocket, there's like this radioactive cave.
Yes.
Yeah, you can get actually a fusion core there, which are pretty rare. And there's other stuff there, but
You can?
yeah.
I
There's
freaking missed it. I gotta go back to that cave.
yeah, there's like a radioactive area in the cave if you go into it, like the one corner.
Yeah, the
Start
one
taking-
corner. I didn't find anything there, and I was like, well, this is boring. I'm just getting irradiated for no reason. I gotta go back there.
So I did that, and then I proceeded to go down into Concord to start doing the. There's like a very first Minutemen mission there.
Yeah. So before we go continuing further with our own thing, so let's talk about what was our build.
Right. Characters.
We kind of skipped over that. I probably should have talked about it first. So we're not. I don't think it's a good idea that we're going to go into everything about it. We're not going to tell you every point that we put in every special thing. But so I obviously my build is I have a female character. I am in most games I tend to go more stealth. So my first build, I think I put 7 points or something like that in I guess it's agility.
Agility, yes.
But before I left the vault, they give you another chance to reset your thing. So I actually moved it. I took it out of that because I had all the way up to ninja perk, which is cool because it's 2.5 damage when you're stealth at range, 2.5 times damage, which is great. But I didn't let me pick locks, which is the other thing I like to do. So I had to change that and put it back into perception.
Right.
So I put 4 points or something like that into there. So I kind of balanced it out so I have the stealthiness of my agility and my perception to do lock picking, and then guns. I'm all about range. Range is my friend in this game, even though I don't have a good rifle. And I use the pistol more often. I just enjoy shooting because of the rate of fire. Really, it's the only real reason I like the pistol. I just like the fact that it shoots really fast. And I've modded it, so I also wanted to do modding.
You got an auto pistol?
It's the same pistol from the start.
Oh, okay.
The one you find in the vault. I've just modded it. I've made I think I put a lighter barrel on it, and or no, I put the heavy barrel on it and the range barrel, and I have I think glow sight.
Right.
Yeah.
And a comfort grip or something like that on it, so I could. It shoots. It does more damage than any rifle I've found so far, except for I think I have a sniper rifle now that I just picked up. But other than that, it does more damage. But the sniper rifle only has 2 shots that it holds in it, or one shot and then you fire. And I'm like, well, this is useless. I got 12 in this thing, so I'm like,
yeah.
So that was my build. It's more stealthy, picking locks, stealing from people, which I've done.
Yeah.
And sniping, yeah, basically.
Okay. Yeah. So I kind of empathize. Crafting. Crafting is very important to me. So, intelligence would start with a 6 right off the bat, just because I want to be able to make get the gun nut, be able to get the science perk, and like make everything.
I like that.
I also went very high in perception because I do a lot of shooting. Because I don't know, that's what you do in Fallout, but
You can melee.
I don't really care about stealth. I only have some points in agility just to get more damage with rifles.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's like up to 3. Or
Exactly, that's what I
around
have.
there.
3.
Yeah.
So my charisma's 2. So I'm not very charismatic, though. I honestly wish I put more in because I want to be able to trade with my settlements and such. That's kind of killing me right now.
Yeah, the local leader.
Yeah,
or whatever it is,
exactly.
That's a good perk to get, and I don't have it either.
Yeah. Otherwise, endurance is like 4. I put a decent amount. I have like a 4 strength, so it's not too bad just to be able to make armor. And I mean, let's be honest, it's Fallout. It's a Bethesda game, so you got to carry around a lot of crap. Yeah. And having a higher strength to pick up said crap is important. So
I do like modding armor that you can add pockets to it, though.
Yeah,
yes,
pocket. I already had like 3 things that are pocket.
Yeah, I just did that right at the end of my last thing, and I was like, "Oh, this is so much nicer."
It's like cargo pants armor.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
I kind of wish that I had the ability to do. Like, I wish Skyrim had that.
Yeah. I've modded a few things like that, and I've done like lightweight stuff. But yeah, so my ideal build once I get higher level is really just to like wear like not power armor, but the heaviest armor I can get, and run around with the rifles or shotguns. It's kind of my preferred thing. I'm not stealth. I don't really go long range. Explosives also good. So yeah. Andy?
Opie.
He's on my screen too.
Yeah, I went very similar to Opie's. I wanted to definitely be more about crafting. I think I had 5 or 6 level in the special level for strength. Perception I think was a 4 or 5. I put my charisma to a 6 because of the local leader, and then intelligence to 6 as well for the science perk.
Yeah.
From what I read, it really doesn't make sense to go above 5 or 6 in any of your stats because you get those bobbleheads that raise you up. Like you don't really have to be above like 10 or so. So
yeah, plus gear can give you stats as well. So
yeah, exactly. So yeah, and I put a couple in like I think it was endurance just so like I could drink water without dying immediately, and then also luck is nice where you get more. There's like an ammunition finding one and then a scavenging one.
Yes, I have. I have both of those actually. Yeah.
Those are low level. Those are like only 2 or 3, and they're pretty good. I have no shortage of ammo either. So
I think it's only up to 2 even maybe or something like that because I think 3 is
the scavenging one.
Bloody Mess.
Oh yeah, I think you're right. Maybe it is Bloody Mess. Yeah.
Or maybe that's 4, but that's the yeah.
Those are the first ones.
Close.
Yep.
Which I don't have that perk, but I can take it.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
Concord.
Yeah. Okay.
We all went into Concord, right?
Yep.
Yes.
On day 1.
Yes.
So for those watching here, that this is the more spoilery section, I guess, of it. I'll just say, but it's basically when you get into there and you do the Minuteman mission. If you had watched the E3 thing and they show you basically the cool parts of the movie, the game, the things they want you to know about right away. So you go to the Red Rocket, you get dog meat. You find your companion, the dog. You go to Concord, you get your power armor and a minigun, and it's awesome.
Yeah,
it was crazy fun. I'm glad that is like very early in the game.
Yeah,
because it's a really good moment to just be like, I can kill everything. It was just hilarious to just have that and run out there, and the guys are like, "Well, I can take you down." They're shooting at me. I'm like, whatever.
Dead.
You're like the guy in Predator.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then a Deathclaw comes out, and he's a little tougher, even with the minigun.
It's definitely tough. I spent a lot of time backpedaling.
Yeah, backpedaling. He actually hit me a few times, so I had to like stim pack and such in the suit.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he did some damage to me.
Better than you.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Deathclaw thing, that was fun.
Yeah.
That was fun to fight. That was pretty cool.
And even
but then I'm an idiot, I found out, because I talked to Opie about this afterwards, and I followed all the people back to Sanctuary, because they're like, we're going to go back to Sanctuary. So I ran back with my power armor.
I did too, yep.
And Opie was like, you can just fast travel. And I was like, oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would have saved a lot of fusion core energy.
I did run back with them to Sanctuary, but I just took the
okay.
power armor off first. I was like, all right, I'll just leave this here. It's not going anywhere. So I walked back with them to Sanctuary and then went back and got it and then fast traveled back.
I think I remember now, like, when they got to the Red Rocket, I'm like, I don't need this power armor. I'm just going to dump it here and
I didn't want to take it
out
off.
the fusion core. Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
Like, it took me a bit to remember. Like, I kind of knew that it would be draining the fusion core. I think mine's down to like 25% or something like that now. But like, I knew that had to happen. But I was like, why would I ever take this off? I have a minigun and I have a giant armor. Like, I'm gonna go wreck everything in the world right now.
Yeah.
stealthily.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly. That was the moment where I was like, the hell was stealth? I got a minigun.
And you guys got the laser rifle too, right?
So question about that for you guys. Does it suck?
No, it's good.
It's powerful, but
It sucked for me.
You have to hit.
It's like a positron glider thing. You got to wind it up.
Yeah,
exactly.
But if you wind
You
it
have
up
to-
more, it does more power. So like,
It's almost like putting. It's almost like a shotgun. Like
Right.
you can mod it to have more winding ability. So like I upgraded mine to a 3-wind one, so it'll
Yeah.
do 3 shots. I think it only starts out with 1 or 2 shots.
Two, I
Two,
think.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the more you wind it up, the more powerful it is, and it's quite powerful. This is not for the first day, but I was fighting a guy in power armor, and with three roundups, he actually does a decent amount of damage to him. Still took several shots to kill him, but yeah, it is good, but it's a good long range weapon. I actually have a scope on mine, so that actually helps quite a bit on using it. So
Yeah, I got it right away, and I thought, laser rifle. That sounds
Yes, please.
amazing.
Yeah.
I can't wait. It's like everything I like. It's long range and it's lasers. But yeah, I was very underwhelmed by it when I first started using it, so I shelved it.
oh, yeah.
I don't think I understood how to use it at first because I'm
Yeah.
like click click click. I'm like,
Yeah.
what am I doing wrong here? And then I started pushing other buttons, and I saw them start to like wind up the thing. I'm like, oh, maybe I have to do. It's almost like a shotgun or something like that.
And if you
yeah.
do use VATS, it will actually like wind it between every shot, so that at least shows you that he does it. So
Okay.
yeah, but so
Alrighty. So that's what kind of everybody's first day, or
there's a few other things I wanted to mention. Like
Do it.
I went to some other places actually before and after Concord. I don't know if you guys fought any like ghouls yet, but I found a whole bunch of ghouls by this factory that's by like the Abernathy Farm. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah, I went there
That's why I
too.
didn't go
Yep.
Yeah, Andy and I found like a robot there that you can program to do things. You put him in what?
There's different modes you can add. You can be like security mode, construction worker mode, protocol mode. I put him in construction worker mode, and he just kind of walk around complaining about like union violations and stuff like that. That was pretty funny.
Yeah.
So there's like some fun moments with it.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, I put him in doctor mode, and I guess he would heal me maybe if I needed it, but I never.
so is he a companion?
No, he just kind of wanders
Just
the
in the area.
factory, basically.
Yeah,
just
he stays
becomes
around
part of
there.
it. Yeah. Now, I did also find a robotics disposal place, which is like to the northeast of Sanctuary, which has this really big, like, Protectron robot thing, which I did turn on, but I haven't activated because I'm afraid it's going to kill me.
He didn't do it. I turned him on. He threatened like he was going to go around, but he just kind of stood there.
Well,
Like I don't know if it's.
You can go back into the holotape, and you can actually then set his mode to like security mode or whatever. And if he does,
Oh, okay.
I'm thinking that if that happens, he will just activate and destroy you. Maybe I don't know.
Save
But-
game.
See, I didn't
Exactly.
do that. I just blew him up, and I took his fusion core.
Oh, nice.
Like, this is fascinating. Anyway, I'm going to kill you.
Yeah.
Blam, blam, blam. I literally was beating on him with. I didn't want to waste ammo, so I was just hitting him with my
Baton.
baton for about 5 minutes till he like. And the dog was like jumping at it. Too,
Oh, that's
so we were
great.
it took us like 5 to 10 minutes to like whittle him down, and then, boom! Of course, I almost died when he exploded.
Yeah.
But then afterwards, I just grabbed his fusion cores. I'm like, okay.
Nice. Okay. All right. Yeah.
So, how many deaths? Any?
The first
None.
day, just one.
My closest death was
Was that?
taking out that big robot.
I had one.
I'm sorry. No.
Um,
First day I had 0. Actually. No. Yeah.
My first day might have been 0 as well, but I'm not sure. I stepped on a landmine. So landmines are out there.
Yeah.
In case you haven't found any of them yet.
I haven't found one yet.
Yeah, I went to like there was another one of those like cook fires. They would just which always would kind of like weirded me out the first time you find one because the first time you see one or the first time I saw one was
You're
in
like-
Sanctuary, and it's right by like the bridge, right by you leave, and there's like a house and there's just a pot and a fire going, and I'm like, well, who set
Yeah.
this fire? Like.
Yeah.
There has to be people there. Like in my head, I'm thinking like Survivor Story type of thing. I'm like, well, there's got to be raiders around because there's a fire going. So somebody had to set it, but nope, it's just there always at all times. So I found another one. It's in Concord or behind Concord, and I was walking down to it. And I was like, "Hey, there's a fire and there's a chest," and then I hear beeping. I'm like, "What's that sound?" Boom! Bloody corpse goes flying backwards, and I was like, "Oh,
Yeah,
that sound
that
means
happens.
there's a mine and I'm about to die." But you can
Nice.
shoot them. You can just
Yeah, or disarm
Shot
them,
it
I
with a
think,
pistol,
too.
so.
I disarmed like a laser trap at some point and got fiber optics from it, so...
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
So maybe you can disarm it
If you
have
see it, I
something?
assume, and like can actually, I'm sure if you like see it and just aim
Yeah,
at it, you
if
can
I wasn't
disarm
standing right on top of it trying to open up a toolbox or something like that, I
Yes.
was like, oh, well, this is...
There's a radar tower near where that robot disposal is.
Yes.
And-
So I found the radar tower. I know that.
Yes.
With
So if you-
people on
you-
top of it.
Yeah. And if you go inside it, there's more people inside there. But there's also, I found a laser tripwire, and I
Yeah.
saw this like red beam, and I'm like, oh, don't cross that. So I shot my shotgun at it like 2 or 3 times at the actual emitter, and that, like, I just saw these lightning bolts come down, and I let it just die.
Okay. Yeah,
So-
that's the one I disarmed, actually. I just took...
I got a question about
okay.
that list then, if that's the one you guys are talking about. So that's
Yeah.
there's a huge radar dish,
Yeah.
and there's like somebody at the top, and then there was like a bug that crawls up and explodes. I don't know if you had
Yes,
that happen.
I did see that. Yeah,
Scared the hell out of me.
Rad roach that had like mines strapped to it.
Oh,
Yes.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, it was like I literally ran around for like 10 minutes afterwards being like, what the hell just blew up and why? But that thing glitched out for me.
Oh, yeah.
So like there's the tower part that you can climb to the top of, and then there's not a whole lot going on in there, and then there's the building right next to it, right? I assume the building is what you're talking about that had the trip.
Yeah, there's
Yes.
there's a
There's a
door
door.
inside the building, and then that takes you underground.
I walked through the door.
Wow.
Can't open the door, but I can just pass right through it.
Oh.
So in my game, it's glitched out. Now, I don't know if it's going to stay that way. I logged out and logged back in, and it's still that way. So I can't actually go into that place. It's kind of... So that brings up, it's a Bethesda game,
Yes.
Yeah.
and I haven't come across like a ton of bugs yet.
No,
But I had
yeah.
2 issues. I had one where in there, sort of next to that area, there's a quarry that's full of water.
Yep.
And all of the textures were really like crap looking.
Blocked off, like...
Yeah. And
I
I
got
fell
that.
through 'em.
I got that too, actually.
Yeah, so I logged out and logged back in, and it was fine.
Yeah.
But like the textures were like, they were, and maybe it's only PC. It might be better on the PS4. Maybe.
I actually just today got to that core area. I didn't have any texture or issues. Don't go in the water though; you'll get irradiated. But
Yeah, well, you have to. There's a quest, but
yeah. Well, yeah, eventually. But yeah.
there's I did that too. I took an elevator down.
I remember
There's
that
an elevator that goes
Yeah.
really far underwater, by the way, and then I can't get back out. So that's another death I had. But
Nice.
that was not day one. That was a later thing. But yeah, anyway, so like that the textures were all garbage, and I fell through areas because they were like they would block out like this, but it would actually be like a path that would go down like that. So I'd walk like, oh, I'm on top of this texture and then fall. And then I was like, oh, well, this stinks. But I had the same problem with that building next to the radar dish. Is like I walked up to the door and it didn't give me any kind of like open whatever, and I was like, oh,
Yeah.
what's going on with this?
Yeah, it'll have the little open door prompt.
Yeah, it had no prompt for that, and then I just walked right through it.
Yeah.
That sucks.
You may want to
I
check
was
that. 'cause
inside,
that is-
and I was like, oh, well, I'll just take all this stuff. And then there was another door, which is the one you're talking about, which I guess goes into a basement now that I know, but I
Yeah.
just walked right through that one too. But because it's supposed to go to a basement, I walked through into clipping through the wall and then was outside.
Did you
So I
guys
was like,
find,
hi, I'm back outside the building now.
did you guys find the second power armor outside of there?
No.
There's another set of power armor just west of that radar dish area. There's like a fallen helicopter.
Yes, I did see that. Yes.
Yeah. So
gotta go back and do
there's
that.
another one. If
No,
you have
that's-
two settlements, you'll have 2 sets of power
Yeah,
armor.
that was the same actual set. Like it wasn't a different model or whatever.
Oh no! It's just
Yeah.
another. Yeah, it's
T
not like a new.
45 or whatever it is.
Yeah, it's just the basic model.
Yeah.
It's not.
So
big
let's
enough.
so let's talk about the settlements then.
yeah.
So Sanctuary becomes a settlement. That one is they set up for you right away, and then I'm guessing, and you guys are even saying it. There's other settlements you can go to that you can be in charge.
Yeah.
of.
Typically, they'll have like a quest for you to do, and if you do it, then they're like, all right, we'll listen to you now, and then
Right.
it becomes another settlement you can control.
And then you can access their workbench. That's kind of key. So
Exactly.
So the workbenches, it seems to me like within a settlement, if you store your junk there or whatever, it like all of the workbenches kind of
Yes.
share it.
They're all linked. exactly.
But
no,
not-
not all the settlements.
No,
Not from settlement to settlement.
No.
In one
But the
settlement.
armor station and like the weapon station in the same settlement will
Yes.
share, but it
Yes.
won't be in a different settlement. Or even if you go to like the Red Rocket, there's
Yes.
an armor station stuff there that doesn't share the same stuff too.
Yeah, so
that's-
like it's so all your stations in sanctuary, they will all have like the same scrap and
Yes.
junk and all that stuff. Only the ones in the Red Rocket, the only thing. So you'll have to transfer like different materials between settlements if you want to like say you need a lot of wood or steel at another settlement to build walls. Like you'll physically have to put them on your inventory, fast travel over there, and then start using them.
or caravan if you have a high enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
Correct.
political leader, right, or whatever it
Yeah,
was, like
the-
that
yeah.
actually will solve that issue. So
Yes.
Oh, okay, that's great
Yeah.
then. Yeah,
That's what it's supposed to be able to do. Is that you can trade between and you can set up caravans between your settlements.
Then I will be trying to unlock that as soon as possible.
yeah, that's why I really wish I had that.
How many actual unlocks and extra special points or whatever have you found any yet?
Oh.
Obviously, it's one like right away.
Yeah, I found. I think that one was perception, right?
Yeah, I think it's in the vault maybe even.
yeah.
I
And
think that's the only one I found.
There's a magazine. There's a Gorbmac or Gorignac or whatever the heck that gives you.
Strength.
It gives you a perk.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think, and that's all I've found so far.
I found a few of those books. I've probably like found 3 or 4 of them, and I've found some gear that has given me stats. Like I actually
Right.
think I have a +2 to perception right now, +1 to strength, +1 endurance, and +1 to I want to say charisma.
So what
I've-
kind of gear are you guys wearing?
I have glasses, so that gives me +1 perception.
Yes, I've got glasses that do that. I actually found, or I bought from a caravan guy. He had like a starred piece of gear, which is like better. It's like it's some kind of like champion's bracer, which
Oh.
basically has +1 to I think endurance and maybe strength, and it has good armor. So I actually I'm wearing that now as well. Plus I found one bobblehead, which was I think perception. Yeah. So
Yeah, I think that's the one I found too.
and then
Uh,
something else, but
I've not found any of them.
oh yeah.
Gear-wise, I'm just using like Raider gear that I've started to, like you said, add pockets and better leather and stuff like that. So
Yeah, it's mostly leather. I've got the Champion's Bracer, and I've got, I think I have like a metal, either leg or something like that, so it's a little higher, but
and I found a army helmet, which is pretty good
Oh.
protection too.
I still use like the regular, like, I guess it's like a hat or whatever, like kind of like the hat that the Minutemen wear.
Yeah.
That gives you +1 to charisma,
I
I
think,
think,
yeah.
so I'm still wearing that.
I was walking around for a long time in a tan business suit
Nice.
Yeah, I have the dark business suit that gives you charisma too. So whenever I like,
with a bandana over my face
oh,
and a bowler hat. That was my look for a little bit until I was like, well, this doesn't give me any armor, but I want to walk around in it. In my business suit and bowler hat and bandito mask.
Nice.
But yeah, right now I have all Raider gear too, which honestly I'm not a big fan of the look of it.
no, it's like girders coming
Yeah.
out. And yeah,
Yeah.
I'm kind of looking forward to get some other stuff. So
Me too.
Yeah, agreed. I
But it
found
is
some Raider
the best
like power
protection.
armor, which looks very gnarly, but yeah, still not a big fan of it. So
So I guess we should probably talk about our thoughts then, huh?
yeah,
Is that where we're at now? So, obviously, I guess PC-wise, as I kind of alluded to before, there's going to be bugs. It's a Bethesda game,
yeah,
and there always are. I'm not sure how many yet because I haven't gotten too far into it. Obviously, we talked about a couple of little glitchy things. I'm hoping that my game, logging out and logging back in when I play the next time, I can actually do that. But if not, I don't know what I'm going to do.
Yeah, because that's part that
Yeah,
farm we
that's-
mentioned. That's part
that's
of
a
that
mission
quest.
for that.
So
well, the farm I didn't go to, but the
Right.
radar tower.
That's
is.
part of the
that's
farm
that's
quest.
part of the
yeah,
farm
so-
quest. So
If
maybe
we
you have to
can,
go there
then-
first. I don't. Well, probably not, but still, yeah.
But maybe if I go there and I do that, it resets it or something. I don't know. Hopefully
Possibly,
so.
yeah.
So that's one of the things that that's kind of like an ongoing kind of thing with Bethesda. But on the other hand, the game's freaking enormous.
Yeah, exactly.
So getting every single thing to work right is pretty hard to do. I'm actually a little bit more forgiving with Bethesda games than I am with most other games.
Yeah.
Especially like Battlefield and stuff like that, where it's like the maps aren't that big.
You're shooting at each other. That's
You-
it.
and you're shooting. What else is around? Like, yeah, you got a lot of junk placed about, but you don't none of it's used for scrap. You don't have to pick it up. You don't do anything with it. It's just
Blows up.
yeah, it blows up, or it's just there to look pretty, and that's it. So and these games are quite a bit different. Like everything that you do, you can interact with, you can go to, and that kind of stuff. So, seemingly they had mentioned that like everything that you find you can break down, but it seems to not be the case for me. Now, I'm not sure if you guys have found that too.
It's a pain in the butt, and that's kind of an issue I have because literally, like, you can't scrap things by yourself. You have to go to a settlement,
Right.
remove them from your inventory, put them on the ground, and scrap them like as you like try to pick them up. But you have to be in work.
Oh.
You have to be
You
in
have
work.
to be in work mode, yeah.
Exactly.
So I didn't know that because I found I went to the armorer station for one thing, and I had Raider armor, fine, it scraps no problem. But then I had the jumpsuits or something like that, and I
Yeah.
couldn't scrap them. And I
So-
was like, well, why can't I scrap these things?
For guns and armor, you need to get those perks to be able to scrap them. But
Well,
like,
I have armor level 1, and I
Okay.
have gun nut or whatever it is level 1, so I can do those level 1.
so basically, you have to go to whatever settlement you are. Go into first drop what you want to break down,
Right.
and then go into work mode and you'll look at it on the ground and you'll
Right.
see
Yeah.
scrap.
Like the same thing that you can do with the mailboxes and the
Yes.
trees.
Yes.
I was telling
Yes.
before we started this thing, I spent probably an hour and a half in the settlement just cleaning it up.
All those coffee cups you picked up, they turn into ceramic.
Right. Yeah.
Now, all the
tin
junk
can.
and stuff, you don't need to do that. If you just leave them in the workshop, as you're building stuff, it will automatically break. If it's junk,
But
it
that's
breaks.
the thing.
okay.
Not all of it is considered junk.
Yeah, correct. All the clothes and stuff is different. That's in the apparel section. But Andy,
But
if it is
but
junk,
it won't so that's what I was trying to say. It's not junk and it's not armor, so it just stays in my inventory until I do what Andy was saying, I guess. So
Right.
that kind of bothered me because
Maybe.
I was like, I'm at the armor station. I want to break it down. Well, it's not armor. Okay, I can't break down this tan suit that I found that I was walking around in. But it's also not junk, so I
Now,
can't.
I
just-
haven't tried doing suits or anything. I don't know if you can break those down, but
Well, the jumpsuit I did one at one point, and I don't know how I did it. Maybe I was just actually at a crafting station and I had it in my inventory, and it said it would use it for cloth.
oh, okay, because
So it will, but I was like, well, that's great, but I don't want to walk around with, this stuff in.
Taking
How
up
do I get rid of it? Like, what do I do with it? Because it. So then I wound up oh, okay, I have to go to my crafting stations, and because it's not junk and because it's not immediately something that breaks down in the crafting station, I actually have to do the transfer inventory and select them and move them over. And that was it's just one of those things that it's right next to being really good, but it's not quite there for me.
yeah, I think they need a little more work on their interface and stuff, and explaining how. Because I
Right.
didn't, like Opie said, I didn't know it automatically broke stuff down as you were using it.
yeah.
So I thought I had to just break it down to steel or wood or all that crap.
I only figured it out because I was building stuff, and I would put something down. It says, this much steel, and
And it's from
3 cans were destroyed. I was like, oh,
Right.
okay, they just took them from automatically. Great.
right, which is great if you have that in your inventory. But
Yeah.
in my inventory, I only have 230 pounds or whatever it is.
Well, no, but even in your workshop, if you just have
But that's what I'm saying. That didn't transfer a lot of the. Now the cups
when you
and stuff do.
send all junk or whatever.
But yeah,
yeah.
when you do the thing and it says transfer all junk, it's not everything that I would have considered junk. So I'm like, well, what do I do with this? Can I only sell it to other settlements, or can I break it down? And so it sounds to me like I can break it down, Or at least transfer it into there as long as I do the transfer mode and not the transfer all junk. Like
it may or may not, because now that you're talking, like for stuff like bobbleheads, those comic books,
right.
You'll find Vault-Tec lunch boxes and stuff like that. I just kind of like had like in my the Red Rocket area, I have like the one toolbox is where I keep all my weapons. I just kind of only put weapons in there. Then the cash register, I only put apparel there just so I keep everything. And then there's like another place where I only put aid stuff, like, you know, stim packs and stuff like that. And then by the terminal that you can use holo tapes and all that stuff, that's where I put like, you know, comic books or, you know, anything like tattoos or stuff like that, paint job stuff. Just so I still have them.
Right.
Just to know if I have it or not, but just to keep it organized. So I don't dump everything all into one thing. So I kind of know mentally all my weapons are here, so I can just go there and look.
Yeah,
and it's just I think the difference for me with that is that like Skyrim, from my recollection at least, and I'm going to reference it a lot because I've played a retarded amount of Skyrim. Didn't really have any inventory management like that at all.
No.
You know, so like I knew that if I want, and like it also didn't really break down. Like you found mushrooms that you were going to use in alchemy, or you tore the wings off of butterflies and you were going to use them for alchemy, and that's it. And other than that, it was like if it's in your inventory, you're either going to sell it or wear it, or it's junk.
Yeah.
Like, and you drop it, and that's it. So there was like less. I knew what I was going to do. If my inventory was full, I would just give it the stuff that I thought was less valuable, because all I was really carrying it around for was just to sell it to places and get some money, and that's it. That's all I needed it for. Except for, I guess you could do like. You could smelt some things or something, maybe. I don't know. But at any rate, so in Fallout, because it is all more useful and there's reasons to pick up all this stuff. Like, I'm already used to being a klepto for these kind of games, and I'm going to grab everything I can because that's what I do. But
now there's a reason to be a hoarder.
There's a reason to be a hoarder, but also like because it half manages my inventory, it's actually throwing me off more, because in Skyrim I was like, I know I have to do this. I that's just part of the game. Like I'm going to have to spend a lot of time futzing around with my inventory, and it's going to be kind of a pain in the butt. And then in this game it was like, well, this will break down, and this will break down, and this will break down. I'm like, sweet, awesome, do it. And then I'm like, but why didn't this? So like I immediately got spoiled by it, I think is what the problem was. And I'm sitting there thinking like, well, you already got rid of all this stuff for me. Why won't you do this one? And it's like, well, come on. Do a little bit of work.
Yeah.
Like, but I don't want to.
I mean, it really comes down to if you can wear it or use it, it won't automatically junk those things for you.
Correct. Yes. So, like, but that's just an important, I don't know, for me, that was like a...
Confusing, yeah.
Yeah, it was just, it's a thing that I have to keep in mind, and maybe it's a good tip for other people. So what about building the thing? I know, Andy, you did a lot of settlement stuff.
Yeah, like I said, I probably did about 15 hours, and I'd say like 10 to 12 hours of it was just building. So literally, if you go to my sanctuary, I've only have 2 settlements open so far. I have Abernathy Farms and Sanctuary. Literally, if you go there, there's a big wall surrounding portions. Like, I'd say about 2/3 of Sanctuary is just completely surrounded by a wall, and then I left only 1 opening with 2 guard towers and then like two machine gun turrets.
Nice.
I haven't been attacked yet.
I was going to say, has anybody been attacked?
No.
I think they're too afraid.
Yeah, my defenses are too high, so that's a thing.
Yeah.
Like, they recommend like your defense should be twice as much as your food and water combined. Mm-hmm. So mine's way above it, so it's
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. Like, my food and water combined is probably around 20, but my defense is only like 15. But
okay, so you might get attacked at some point.
I'm completely walled off, so I mean.
Yeah, so my defense is about the same as my food and water.
That's so you should be okay.
But they're weirdly pointed because like I didn't know what I was doing, so I put 2 machine gun turrets like right in the middle of town.
I don't think they really care about that.
It doesn't. It really doesn't seem to make a difference. They're in the middle of the town. They're nowhere near the entrance to the place.
Yeah.
But they're right in front of my old house because I was like, this is my house. Clink, clink.
Yeah, I really just had like there's the crafting house. And then there's there's 2 spaces right next to each other, to the left and to the right. I cleared those off, built houses on them, and I basically have a gun turret on one and a gun turret on the other one, kind of facing out, and then a guard tower in the middle. So like I don't have the whole sanctuary protected, but really everyone stays in those 2 houses, so I just protect those 2 houses.
Yeah, I kept all my beds in the protected area. Like there's still, like I said, I only have about 2/3 of sanctuary surrounded by a wall. So like any houses that are outside, I took all the beds out and put them on the houses on the inside, so all my guys are protected.
Yeah.
In Sanctuary, I've only been attacked once, and it was by one of those two-headed deer.
Ah.
Oh, the Brahmin.
Yeah, so I was building the walls at the Abernathy farm, and then the people at the farm started flipping out and firing stuff, and there's this deer trying to eat their melons. So we shot the deer, and I continued making walls. So now the next time a deer comes to Abernathy Farm, they're going to get funneled into the front entrance and get lit up by machine gun turrets.
Nice.
And that'll be good eating for everybody.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And actually, that is a good eating because if you cook rad stag meat, it'll give you meat that lets you carry 25 extra pounds worth of something. So that's good to have in your inventory just as like an emergency. You know how sometimes like you'll fill up too much, but you really want that item, so you can fast travel home. Just pop one of those, and
nice.
It'll be good.
Alrighty. Any other comments you guys want to make?
Not really. I just want to. Well, I'll just say that I'm really enjoying it. I love the crafting system a lot, and the building, and I do a lot of all that stuff. So it's amazing how much I'm not exploring in this game. It's just a lot of building and crafting. So
I've been obsessed with settlement building. So
yeah. So
it is a good thing. I think my houses suck. I built a house like you did, Obi. I built one right next to the armor house, because you could break this both down. And I'm like, I built it, and I'm like, well, now I can't. Like, it's only one story. Like, how do I make a second story? And I don't know, I spent too much time. But then I also have to be conscious. Like, I'm trying to be conscious about the fact that, like, at the same time, I'm trying to do a Let's Play. And I don't think anybody wants to watch me do this for 12 hours.
I don't know. If people want to learn how to craft, or not craft.
Well, we'll let Andy to give them a nice crafting tutorial.
We'll edit it down so they don't have to watch all the mundane stuff. But I'll teach you how to build walls.
Yes, lots and lots of walls.
Lots of walls.
So quickly, I just want to mention mods are out there.
Yeah.
That happened day one. In fact, it actually happened before day one. There were some mods out there. This is obviously, it's a Bethesda game. On the PC, mods were a guarantee. What's really exciting, I think, for this is that on the PlayStation 4 and on the Xbox, mods are also going to happen, which is the first time. It's going to be cool. I cannot wait until that. So I'm going to, you're not going to have them on the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox until probably 2016, because the Creation Kit itself isn't going to be released until then. I'm expecting a kind of a curated store thing, kind of like basically if you did, if anybody played Skyrim and stuff on PC before, there was a Steam Workshop, and the Steam Workshop is a little bit more curated than some of the like Wild West mod things out there. If you're on the PC, the Nexus is really, the biggest place to get the mods. There are other sites as well. I have seen, just quickly to mention, there's obviously some settings adjustments. There's a good thing for adjusting your settings. Actually, I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head, but you can disable a lot of things on your PC. Like, I don't want the starting movie. I don't want to play the starting movie. I want to make sure I adjust my field of vision, which is what I did in my game already. Mouse acceleration and that sort of thing. And there's like a real easy tool to just set all that stuff. People have already made it. So that's kind of cool. I've seen eye retextures, because the eye textures are actually only 256 by 256 in the game, which is pretty low for today's standards. I've seen 1K eye resolution textures out there already. So mods are coming around, and the fact that this already happens before we even have a Creation Kit is going to be excited. So when they actually come out full, I'm absolutely going to be doing a whole lot of reviews on that kind of stuff.
Nice.
And hopefully we'll get some from Andy too, if he gets to see what's available in the PlayStation 4 and how well they work.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's going to be pretty neat. Otherwise, graphically speaking, I think it's actually pretty good.
Yeah.
There was some, initial complaints, a lot of complaints actually online about it not looking like, well, I don't know, like Battlefront, which looks amazing.
Yeah. When you only have a little map, you can do that.
You have a little map and all that kind of stuff, so it's understandable. But I'm a graphics whore. I'm just going to go ahead and say it. Like, I will play games for the graphics. I can't wait for Star Citizen, and there's a good chance that it has a lot to do with the fact that it looks amazing. Not going to lie. But when I'm playing this game, it's absolutely not distracting. or anything like that. Like, if I spend some time and stare at it, I can look at it and go, yeah, okay, maybe that texture is not as high as it could be, and maybe this isn't as good as other games I've seen. But it's not at all distractingly bad or anything like that. And that's coming from somebody that does, like, get bothered by graphics that suck.
Yeah.
For example, the character model in Skyrim, which I still thought Skyrim was a great-looking game, the character model's not so good. And even though third player was a good... Like, being in third person in Skyrim actually worked, as opposed to, like, Oblivion and Morrowind, where it was just worthless.
It mostly worked.
Yeah. It didn't look right. And so until I could mod my character model and actually had nice-looking characters, I was like, all right, cool, now I can see these people. But it's not distracting and bad or anything like that. So I think it's good.
I think it's kind of similar to how, like, Grand Theft Auto games are. Like, the big environment type of games,
you're going to expect it to be a little low.
That's what looks best in either, Bethesda games or,
Rockstar.
Grand Theft Auto games. They have the lighting great. Like, when it's sunset, it's sunset. Like, and all, like, the distance stuff looks great. Facial animations, still pretty bad. I mean, but that's pretty
They're
standard.
better.
They were in the
Definitely
beginning, like when you actually had that, when you're making your
Vault-Tec
character.
guy. Yeah.
And that there was some better animation, but they still they definitely don't use facial capture for their animation. They definitely do it by hand.
Yeah, they're not.
But yeah, and close-up models aren't that great. But I mean, definitely the environments are really nice, and it's just the focus of these games is always just you can do anything in these.
Oh yeah, on the vast scale of it, I don't expect it. I will say that there's definitely still, like, even though the download size on the PC is 23 gigs, something like that.
Yeah.
I think that it is because the files, the textures, and all that are because 23 gigs fits on a Blu-ray. That fits for a PlayStation 4, and it fits for an Xbox.
So you might see mods.
Well, you will. You absolutely will. But I think that's why, like, for example, like I said, the eye texture is only a 256 by 256 texture. It's a really low resolution texture for a PC game. But you can't make 1K texture eye resolution things for every different kind of eye. It takes up more space, a lot more space. It's 4 times bigger at least. And trying to cram all that kind of high-res texture onto a disc just wouldn't work. It's the same thing with Skyrim. Skyrim was the same way. It was made to fit on a DVD. So Skyrim was much smaller. But then it was like they came out with the high-resolution texture pack for Skyrim later, and it made it 12 gigs. Well, yeah. So that's going to expand, I think. I don't know if Bethesda is going to do a high-res like they did for Skyrim or not, because these are still decently sized, but... It will be. The mod community will absolutely take out.
They certainly made enough money. They made...
Oh my god, yeah.
750 million in day one.
Yes.
12 million copies.
12 million copies sold.
Maybe
more
they
than...
could put aside a couple million to give us some high-res textures.
Yeah, that would be nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
More, I think that beat, like, Halo sales.
Oh,
absolutely.
Which included, like, hardware.
Yeah.
I was like, you sold, like, Xboxes with that. So it was, like, $500 for that. And this was, like... Yeah, we still sold it, but that's yeah. I think it's kind of neat. I think it's fascinating because the hype train for this is high, but it wasn't like it didn't have the
a lot of time. I mean, it was short. I mean,
the short time, which I think was good.
Smart.
That was
Very
a smart thing to do because people didn't get bored with hearing about it. They just got more and more excited. But it was also like there wasn't as much like like Halo 5 had like TV ads and it had all kinds of crap and they did these like big launches and whatever, and it's a big game and it sold well, but like Fallout had none of that by comparison. It was like, hey, there's a couple of videos and some TV stuff like that, and people are like, no, this game's just a crap ton of fun to play, so everybody buys it because they made a game that's worth it.
Yep.
So
and it's single player, which is less and less common today.
Absolutely. And that's impressive. So until they come out with the multiplayer mod, which we'll see how that works.
Yeah.
Because they did have one for Skyrim. I haven't tried it yet because it's in there, but there is a multiplayer mod for Skyrim where you can play PC people all in the same thing. We'll see how that works. But anyway, anything else? Any final comments?
That's it for me.
Go get it if you don't have it.
Yep.
I don't know why you don't have it. Go buy it. This game is awesome. And it will suck your life away.
Yeah,
I fully expect to put
Totally.
another 1,000 hours into this game, like I did for Skyrim, because I did put over 1,000 hours into Skyrim.
Yeah, wow.
That's what Steam tells me.
That's a lot.
I'm sad that Steam tells me that, but yeah. Anyway, this has been Turn 8 Gaming as a first look, first day for Fallout 4. So long, everyone.
See ya.
Man.